The alarm clock's shrill beep cut through the pre-dawn silence at 5:47 a.m. Marcus Webb's hand shot out from under the thin comforter, slapping the snooze button with practiced precision. 3 more minutes. That's all he needed. Just 3 more minutes before the day demanded everything he had. But then he heard it. The soft padding of small feet on hardwood floors. The creak of his bedroom door opened slowly. "Daddy?" Marcus opened his eyes. His 8-year-old daughter Lily stood in the doorway, her natural hair wild around her face, wearing the oversized t-shirt she used as pajamas. Her brown eyes were heavy with sleep, but she was awake. Too awake for 5:47 in the morning. "Bad dream, baby girl." Marcus sat up, his back protesting. Sleeping on a 15-year-old mattress would do that to you. Lily shook her head. "I just wanted to make sure you were still here." Something in Marcus's chest tightened. He opened his arms. "Come here." She climbed into bed beside him, fitting perfectly against his side the way she had since she was a toddler. He kissed the top of her head, breathing in the coconut oil he'd used on her hair the night before. "I'm always here, Lily. You know that." "I know. Sometimes I forget." Marcus understood. 3 years since Sarah died. 3 years since cancer took his wife and left him alone with a 5-year-old who asked every morning for 6 months if Mommy was coming back. Time had softened the edges of that grief, but it never really disappeared. It just learned to live alongside everything else. "Tell you what," Marcus said, checking the time. 5:52 now. "How about you stay here for 3 more minutes and then we both get up and I'll make your favorite breakfast. Chocolate chip pancakes? That's the one. With a smiley face? Would I make them any other way?" Lily giggled, pressing closer. These were the moments that made everything worth it. The exhaustion, the endless worry about money, the weight of being everything to someone who deserved the world. At exactly 5:55, Marcus slipped out of bed. His knees popped as he stood. 34 years old and his body already felt 45. That's what happened when you worked 60-hour weeks doing whatever manual labor kept the lights on. He shuffled to the bathroom, looking at himself in the mirror above the sink. Dark brown skin, tired eyes with shadows underneath them, jaw covered in stubble he'd shave later if he remembered. The white t-shirt he slept in had a small hole near the collar. He'd been meaning to replace it for 6 months. The shower water ran cold for the first 30 seconds. It always did. Marcus had learned to just stand there and take it, letting the icy spray wake him up before the lukewarm water finally kicked in. Hot water was a luxury their building's ancient pipes couldn't quite manage. By 6:15, he was dressed in his work uniform. Dark blue Dickies pants, a gray t-shirt, steel-toed boots that had seen better days. He was a maintenance technician at Riverside Apartments, a sprawling complex on the east side. Toilets, electrical, plumbing, broken AC units, stuck windows. If it was broken, Marcus fixed it. The pay was barely enough. But the owner, Mr. Chen, was a good man who let Marcus bring Lily to work during summer and didn't ask questions when Marcus needed an advance against his paycheck. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. In the kitchen, Marcus pulled out the pancake mix. Not the fancy kind. The store brand in the yellow box that you just added water to. He measured carefully, mixing in a handful of chocolate chips that Lily had been rationing since her birthday 2 weeks ago. The pan heated on the stove. Marcus poured the batter, shaping it into a circle, then adding 2 chocolate chips for eyes and a curved line of chips for a smile. Lily appeared in the doorway, now dressed in her school uniform, navy blue polo shirt and khaki pants. Her hair was still wild. "Daddy, can you do my hair?" "After breakfast, baby. Come eat." She climbed onto the kitchen chair, her legs swinging as Marcus set the plate in front of her. The smiley-face pancake grinned up at her. She grinned back. You're the best daddy in the whole world. And you're the best daughter in the whole universe, Marcus said, pouring himself coffee. Black. No sugar, no cream. They'd run out of both 3 days ago. He sat across from her with his own plate. 2 plain pancakes, no chocolate chips. Those were for Lily. He watched her eat, savoring each bite, and tried not to think about the bills stacked on the counter behind him. Electric bill, overdue. Water bill, due in 3 days. Lily's school field trip permission slip with the $25 fee he didn't have yet. He'd figure it out. He always did. By 7:15, they were out the door. Marcus's truck, a 1998 Ford F-150 with 240,000 miles and a passenger door that only opened from the inside, coughed to life on the 3rd try. Lily buckled herself in, already pulling out the library book she'd been reading. "What's today's book?" Marcus asked, pulling into traffic. "Charlotte's Web. We're reading it in class." "You like it?" "It's sad. The spider dies at the end." "Life's sad sometimes, baby. But the spider did something beautiful first. She saved her friend." Lily looked up at him with those wise beyond her years eyes. "Like you, Daddy. You help people." Marcus's throat tightened. "I just fix toilets, Lily." "You fix more than toilets." He dropped her off at Eastside Elementary at 7:45, watching until she disappeared through the front doors. Then he drove to Riverside Apartments, clocking in at exactly 8 a.m. The day was brutal. A backed-up sewage line in Building C took 3 hours. Mrs. Patterson's garbage disposal ate a fork and needed complete replacement. The AC unit in 4B was leaking refrigerant. 3 hours p.m. Marcus's shirt was soaked with sweat, his hands were raw, and his back felt like someone had taken a hammer to his spine. He picked Lily up at 3:30. She chattered about her day, art class, her friend Maya's new puppy, the kickball game at recess. Marcus listened, asked questions, and made her laugh. But in the back of his mind, he was doing math, calculating, recalculating, trying to stretch $127 until Friday's paycheck. They stopped at the corner store on the way home. Marcus counted out exact change for milk, bread, eggs, and a pack of ramen noodles. Lily added a small bag of gummy bears to the pile without asking. Marcus almost put them back, but then he saw her face. Hopeful, trying not to want too much, and he kept them. $129 for gummy bears. He'd skip lunch tomorrow. At home, Lily did homework at the kitchen table while Marcus made dinner. Scrambled eggs, toast, apple slices from the 3 apples left in the crisper drawer. Simple. Enough. After dinner, he sat on the couch and tackled Lily's hair. He'd learned from YouTube videos and trial and error how to detangle gently, how to section, how to braid. Tonight, he did 2 French braids, his fingers working carefully through her thick coils, adding coconut oil as he went. "Daddy, why don't you have a girlfriend?" Marcus's hands paused. "Where'd that come from?" "Maya says her mom has a boyfriend now, and Jasmine's dad got married again last year. Well, I'm happy for them, but I'm good with just you and me." Lily turned to look at him. "Don't you get lonely?" The question hit harder than it should have. Marcus kept his voice light. "I got you. How could I be lonely? But when I'm at school, or when I'm asleep." Marcus finished the second braid, securing it with a purple hair tie. "Then I'm just resting up so I have enough energy for you when you're awake. Now go brush your teeth." She hugged him tight before running to the bathroom. Marcus sat alone in the living room, the TV playing quietly in the background. On the wall across from him hung a photo. His wedding day. Him and Sarah, her in white, him in a rented tux, both of them grinning like they'd won the lottery. He hadn't dated since she died. Hadn't even thought about it. Every ounce of energy went to Lily, to work, to surviving. There wasn't room for anything else. By 8:30, Lily was in bed. Marcus tucked her in, checked that her nightlight was working, kissed her forehead. "Love you, Daddy. Love you more, baby girl. Love you most. Love you infinity." It was their routine, had been since she could talk. Marcus retreated to the couch, pulling out the bills. He organized them by the due date and did the math again. If he paid the electric bill, he'd be short on water. If he paid water, the electricity would get shut off. Either way, the field trip wasn't happening. He rubbed his eyes, thought about picking up extra shifts. But that meant less time with Lily, and time was the one thing she needed more than money. At 10:47 p.m., Marcus finally lay down. The apartment was quiet except for the hum of the ancient refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic. He stared at the ceiling, Sarah's photo visible in the dim light from the street. "I'm doing my best," he whispered to her ghost. "I hope it's enough." Sleep came slowly, and when it did, Marcus didn't dream. He was too tired even for that. The call came at 11:52 p.m. Marcus's phone buzzed on the nightstand. He grabbed it, heart pounding. Late-night calls meant emergencies, meant someone needed something, meant trouble. "Hello? Marcus, it's Chen." His boss's voice was tight, urgent. "I need you. Now. There's been an accident on Route 9, right near the complex. Car fire. Bad one." Marcus was already sitting up, reaching for his pants. "You call 911? Ambulance is 20 minutes out. Fire department stuck at another scene. Marcus, there's someone trapped. I can see the car from my window. It's burning." "I'm coming." He dressed in 30 seconds, grabbed his keys. Lily was asleep. He couldn't leave her alone, but "Mrs. Rodriguez, the neighbor is 2 doors down." He knocked hard. She answered in her bathrobe, eyes widening when she saw his face. "Emergency. Can you sit with Lily? Just until I get back?" "Of course, mijo. Go." Marcus ran. His truck roared to life. He peeled out of the parking lot, driving too fast down empty streets. Route 9 was 3 minutes away. The sky ahead glowed orange. He saw the smoke first, thick and black, rising into the night sky. Then the flames. A luxury sedan, Mercedes looked like, wrapped around a concrete barrier. The front end was crushed. Fire licked up from the engine, spreading fast. Marcus skidded to a stop, killed the engine, and ran. The heat hit him like a wall. Flames climbed higher, crackling, hungry. Through the shattered driver's side window he saw her. A woman, mid-30s, black, beautiful, even in terror. Her eyes were open, wide, aware. She wasn't moving. Marcus grabbed the door handle. Locked. Scorching hot against his palm. He ignored the pain, wrapped his t-shirt around his hand, and tried again. Still locked. "Hold on," he shouted. He looked around. Found a piece of concrete debris from the barrier. Hefted it. Smashed the window. Glass exploded inward. Marcus reached through, fumbling for the seatbelt release. The woman's eyes found his. She tried to speak, but only a whisper came out. "Can't feel my legs." Marcus's blood went cold, but there wasn't time to process it. The fire was spreading. Flames reached the back seat. He could smell gasoline. "I've got you. Trust me." He hit the seatbelt release. It clicked free. He reached in with both arms, getting leverage under her shoulders. She was dead weight, not unconscious, awake and aware, but unable to help, paralyzed. Marcus pulled. She slid toward him, inch by inch. The heat was unbearable now. His shirt was smoking. His lungs screamed for clean air. With one final heave, he got her clear. He lifted her. She was light, too light, and carried her away from the car. 20 feet, 30, 50. Behind them, the gas tank exploded. The force of it threw Marcus forward. He twisted midair, taking the impact on his shoulder, protecting the woman cradled against his chest. They hit the ground, hard. Marcus lay there for a moment, ears ringing, vision blurred. Then he looked down. The woman was staring up at him. Her face was smudged with soot, her expensive blouse torn, but her eyes were clear, intelligent, scared, grateful. "You saved me," she whispered. "Ambulance is coming," Marcus said. His voice sounded far away. "You're going to be okay." "My chair. In the trunk? Marcus looked back at the burning wreck. The trunk was engulfed. Whatever had been in there was gone. "I'll figure it out," he said. "Don't worry about that now." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Marcus sat up slowly, keeping the woman stable in his lap. She was shaking. Shock, probably. He pulled off his overshirt, the button-up he'd thrown on over his t-shirt, and draped it over her. "What's your name?" he asked, trying to keep her focused. "Adriana," she said. Her voice was stronger now. "Adriana Castellanos." "I'm Marcus. Marcus Webb." "Thank you, Marcus Webb." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears. "You didn't hesitate. Didn't have time to think about it." The ambulance arrived. Paramedics swarmed. Marcus gave them space, stepping back as they loaded Adriana onto a gurney. She kept her eyes on him the whole time. "Sir, you should come with us," one paramedic said. "You've got burns on your hands." Marcus looked down. His palms were blistered, red and raw. He hadn't even felt it. "I'm fine." "Sir." "I said I'm fine. Take care of her." The ambulance doors closed. Lights flashing, it pulled away. Marcus stood alone in the dark, watching it disappear. Around him, firefighters worked to extinguish what was left of the Mercedes. Police had arrived, securing the scene. Mr. Chen appeared at Marcus's side. "You crazy son of a bitch! You ran straight into that fire." "Someone had to." Chen looked at him with something like awe. "You know who that was? That woman?" She said her name was Adriana. Adriana Castellanos. The Castellanos family. They own half this city. Real estate, hotels, that new stadium downtown. She's the only daughter. Marcus processed this. I felt nothing. She'd been a person who needed help. That's all that mattered. "You should go home," Chen said. "I'll handle the police report. Get those hands looked at." Marcus nodded. He walked back to his truck on autopilot. His hands throbbed now, the adrenaline wearing off. He drove home slowly, carefully. Mrs. Rodriguez was asleep on his couch when he got back. He thanked her quietly, sent her home. Checked on Lily, still sleeping, peaceful, unaware. In the bathroom, Marcus ran cold water over his burns, wrapped them in clean gauze, stared at himself in the mirror. He looked the same. But something felt different. Like he'd stepped off a ledge and was waiting to see where he'd land. At 2:17 a.m., Marcus finally collapsed on the couch. He didn't bother going to his bedroom. Sleep came fast, deep, and dreamless. Morning light poured through the window, warm and golden. Marcus woke slowly, consciousness returning in fragments. His hands ached. His shoulder throbbed. His mouth tasted like ash. Then he heard it. Movement in the kitchen. The soft clink of a mug against the counter. The quiet hiss of the coffee maker. Marcus's eyes snapped open. A woman stood in his kitchen. Her back was to him, her dark hair loose and falling past her shoulders. She wore his white dress shirt, the nice one he saved for job interviews and Lily's school conferences, and apparently nothing else. The shirt fell to mid-thigh, the sleeves rolled up to her elbows. She turned. Adriana Castellanos looked at him with those same intelligent eyes from last night. She held his coffee mug, the chipped one with World's Best Dad that Lily had given him, and smiled. Small, uncertain, beautiful. "Good morning," she said softly. "You really don't remember bringing me here, do you?" Marcus sat up too fast. His vision swam. "What? How?" "The hospital released me at 4 a.m. You gave the paramedics your address, said to bring me here if they couldn't reach my family." She took a sip of coffee. "They couldn't reach my family." "I said that?" "Apparently. You were pretty out of it from the smoke inhalation." She gestured to the shirt. "I borrowed this. My clothes were unsalvageable." Marcus stared. This woman, this heiress who apparently owned half the city, was standing in his kitchen, in his shirt, making coffee like she belonged there. I should call you a car, he managed. Get you home. Already tried. My phone was destroyed in the crash. She set the mug down carefully. And honestly, I'm not in a hurry to go home. Why not? Her smile faded. Something dark passed across her face. Let's just say that the crash wasn't an accident. Before Marcus could process that, Lily's bedroom door opened. His daughter appeared, rubbing sleep from her eyes, taking in the scene. Strange woman, Daddy's shirt, coffee at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Lily's eyes went wide. Daddy, she said slowly, is that your girlfriend? Marcus's face went hot. No, baby, this is someone your father saved, Adriana finished smoothly. She smiled at Lily. Hi, I'm Adriana. Lily studied her with the blunt assessment only 8-year-olds could pull off. Are you rich? Lily. Marcus stood up. That's not. It's okay. Adriana laughed, genuine and surprised. Yes, I am, or I was. It's complicated. Why are you wearing Daddy's shirt? Because mine got burned in a fire. Daddy saved you from a fire? He did. Lily looked at Marcus with pure admiration. My daddy's a superhero. Yeah, Adriana said softly, her eyes meeting Marcus's. He really is. The moment stretched. Something passed between them. An understanding, a connection, the beginning of something neither could name yet. Then Lily's stomach growled audibly. The tension broke. Who wants pancakes? Marcus asked. Me! Lily bounced. I haven't had homemade pancakes in years, Adriana admitted. Then sit down, Marcus said, moving toward the kitchen. Both of you. As he pulled out the pancake mix, he could feel Adriana watching him. Feel Lily watching her. Feel the weight of something shifting in his small, carefully controlled life. Her. He had no idea that the woman in his shirt was about to turn his entire world upside down, or that he was about to do the same for Marcus moved through his kitchen with practiced efficiency, measuring pancake mix, heating the pan, trying to ignore the fact that a billionaire heiress was sitting at his kitchen table wearing his shirt. Adriana watched him with undisguised curiosity. She'd folded herself carefully into the chair, her legs positioned in a way that looked deliberate, controlled. Marcus noticed, but didn't stare. Whatever had happened to her, before the crash or because of it, wasn't his business unless she made it his business. Lily had no such reservations. Why can't you feel your legs? She asked, direct as a gunshot. Lily, Marcus spun around. That's not. It's okay, Adriana said again. She looked at Lily with something like relief. I was in an accident a year ago. My spine was damaged. I can't walk anymore. Does it hurt? Sometimes, but I've learned to live with it. Where's your wheelchair? Adriana's face tightened. It was in my car, in the trunk. The one that exploded? Marcus closed his eyes. Lily, let the lady breathe. But Adriana smiled. Your daughter doesn't dance around things. I appreciate that. Most people act like disability is contagious. Lily tilted her head. That's dumb. You can't catch a wheelchair. Despite everything, Marcus laughed. He turned back to the stove, pouring batter into the pan. Sorry, she's... Honest, Adriana finished. It's refreshing. The pancakes cooked quickly. Marcus made Lily's with the chocolate chip smiley face, then 2 plain ones for himself. He hesitated over the third pancake. You like chocolate chips? He asked Adriana. I haven't had them since I was a kid. That's a yes, then. He shaped a careful smiley face, arranged the pancakes on 3 plates, and brought them to the table. Adriana stared at hers like he'd served her something precious. My mother used to make these, she said quietly, before she died. The kitchen went silent except for the sound of Lily's fork scraping against her plate. I'm sorry, Marcus said. Adriana shook her head, cutting into the pancake. It was a long time ago. I was 12. She took a bite, closed her eyes, When she opened them again, they were wet. "These are perfect," she whispered. They ate in silence for a few minutes. Marcus found himself studying her between bites. Even exhausted, wearing his shirt, no. Makeup, hair uncombed. She was stunning. But it was more than that. There was something in the way she held herself. Dignity mixed with vulnerability. Strength wrapped in exhaustion. Like someone who'd been fighting for a long time and was tired of fighting alone. Lily finished first, carrying her plate to the sink. "Can I watch cartoons?" "1 hour," Marcus said. "Then we're doing your reading." "Okay." She disappeared into the living room. The TV clicked on, filling the apartment with bright animated voices. Marcus stood to clear the plates, but Adriana's voice stopped him. "You said the crash wasn't an accident," Marcus said, sitting back down. "What did you mean?" Adriana set her fork down, carefully. Her hands trembled slightly. "My family is complicated. My father died 2 years ago. Left everything to me. His entire estate, the company, the properties, everything. Your siblings weren't happy about that? I don't have siblings, but I have an uncle, Vincent Castellanos. He ran the company with my father for 30 years. He expected to inherit. When he didn't, she looked out the window. Let's just say he's been making things difficult." Marcus felt something cold settle in his stomach. "You think he sabotaged your car?" "I know he did. My mechanic warned me 3 days ago that someone had been in my garage, that the brake lines looked tampered with. I was going to deal with it Monday." Her laugh was bitter. "Guess he didn't want to wait. Did you tell the police?" "The police?" Adriana's smile was sharp, humorless. "My uncle plays golf with the police chief. He donates to the mayor's campaign. Half the city council owes him favors. Who do you think they'd believe? The crippled heiress having a breakdown, or the respected businessman concerned about his unstable niece?" The word crippled hit like a slap. The way she said it, hard, angry, reclaiming it as armor. Marcus leaned forward. "You're not unstable. You don't know that. You just met me. I know you didn't panic in that car. I know you stayed calm enough to tell me about your legs so I'd know how to move you. I know you're sitting here eating pancakes instead of falling apart." He held her gaze. "That's not unstable. That's strong." Adriana stared at him. Something in her expression cracked just slightly. "Why did you bring me here?" she asked. "Instead of just letting the hospital deal with me?" Marcus shrugged. "The paramedic asked where you should go if they couldn't reach your family. I gave them my address. Figured you'd need somewhere safe. You didn't know who I was. It didn't matter. It matters to most people. I'm not most people." Adriana smiled. Real this time. "No, you're really not." A phone rang. Not Marcus's. He was charging on the kitchen counter. The sound came from Adriana's direction. She reached into the pocket of Marcus's shirt, pulling out a phone Marcus didn't recognize. "The hospital gave me a loaner," she explained, glancing at the "our" screen. Her face went pale. "It's my uncle. Don't answer it." "I have to. If I don't, he'll send people looking for me." She answered, put it on speaker. "Adriana." The voice was smooth, cultured, laced with concern that sounded almost genuine. "Thank God. I heard about the accident. Where are you? I'm sending a car." "I'm fine, Uncle Vincent. Just some cuts and bruises. The hospital said you checked out hours ago. No one knows where you are." "I'm with a friend." A pause, then, "What friend?" "Adriana, you're not well. You need proper care, medical attention. You can't just—" "I said I'm fine." Her voice was steel now. "I'll call you tomorrow." "Adriana." She hung up, sat there trembling. The phone clutched in her hand. "He'll find you," Marcus said quietly. "Won't he?" "Eventually. He has resources, private investigators. People are on his payroll everywhere." She looked up at Marcus. "I shouldn't have come here. I've put you in danger." "I pulled you out of a burning car. Danger's already involved. This is different. Vincent doesn't like loose ends, and right now, you're at a loose end. Marcus thought about Lily in the next room, about his daughter, his life, his carefully maintained peace. He thought about the smart thing to do. Call Adriana a car, send her on her way, pretend last night never happened. Then he looked at this woman wearing his shirt, sitting in his kitchen, alone and hunted and trying not to break. "How long do you need?" he asked. Adriana blinked. "What?" "How long do you need to figure out your next move? A day? 2 days? A week?" "Marcus, you don't—" "Answer the question." She stared at him. 3 days, maybe 4. I need to get to my lawyer, get my father's files, build a case, but I need time to do it without Vincent knowing where I am. Then you stay here. 3 days. I can't ask you to— You didn't ask. I'm offering. Marcus stood, carrying his plate to the sink. But we need ground rules. You sleep in my bed. I take the couch. Lily doesn't know about your uncle or the danger. As far as she knows, you're just a friend who needs help. And if things get bad, if your uncle finds you, you tell me immediately. Deal?" Adriana's eyes were wide, disbelieving. "Why would you do this?" Marcus turned to face her. "Because someone tried to kill you. Because you're scared. Because I can help." He paused. "And because if something happened to me, I'd hope someone would do the same for Lily." The silence stretched. Then Adriana nodded slowly. "Deal." If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. The rest of Saturday passed in strange domesticity. Marcus made calls to Mr. Chen, explaining he needed a few personal days, to Mrs. Rodriguez, asking if she could watch Lily for a few hours Monday while he ran errands, to the medical supply store downtown, asking about wheelchair rentals. Adriana sat on the couch, Lily curled up beside her, both of them watching a nature documentary about dolphins. Marcus caught himself watching them from the kitchen, the way Adriana listened when Lily talked, the way she didn't talk down to her, didn't treat her like a child who couldn't understand complex things, the way Lily leaned into her like she'd known her for years. Around 2 p.m., Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Webb?" A woman's voice, professional. "This is Catherine Mills. I'm Mr. Castellanos's personal assistant. He asked me to reach out regarding Adriana. We understand she's with you." Marcus's jaw tightened. "How'd you get this number?" "Mr. Castellanos has significant resources. He's concerned about his niece. He'd like to send a car to pick her up. Make sure she has proper medical care." "She's fine where she is." "Mr. Webb, I don't think you understand the situation. Adriana requires specialized care, equipment, medical supervision. She can't—" "She can speak for herself," Marcus said, "and she said she's fine. Mr. Castellanos is prepared to compensate you for your trouble, quite generously." There it was, the assumption that everything had a price. "Tell Mr. Castellanos his niece will contact him when she's ready, not before." "Mr. Webb." Marcus hung up. Adriana was staring at him from the couch. "He knows," she said. "Yeah, he knows. He offered you money, didn't he?" "Doesn't matter." Adriana's expression was unreadable. "Most people would have taken it. Like I said, I'm not most people." That night, Marcus ordered pizza. He couldn't remember the last time he'd splurged on takeout, but it felt necessary. Normal. Like if they ate pizza and watched a movie, the danger circling them would stay outside. Lily devoured 3 slices, then fell asleep on the couch halfway through the movie. Marcus carried her to bed, tucked her in, returned to find Adriana attempting to transfer herself from the couch to her position by the wall. "Wait," Marcus said. "Let me—" "I can do it." Her voice was sharp, then softer. "I'm sorry, I need to do things myself when I can." Marcus understood that, the need for independence when everything else felt out of control. He sat back down, giving her space, Adriana managed the transfer with practiced efficiency. But Marcus saw the strain in her face, the way her arms trembled slightly from effort. "How long have you been paralyzed?" he asked. 14 months. Car accident. Different one." She smiled wryly. "Apparently I have bad luck with cars." "What happened?" "Drunk driver. Hit me head on. I had the green light. He ran the red." She looked down at her legs. "Spinal cord injury. T12 vertebra. Complete. Doctor said I'd never walk again." "I'm sorry." "Everyone's sorry. Sorry, don't fix it." She paused. That sounded bitter. "You're allowed to be bitter." "Am I?" Adriana looked at him. "Everyone expects me to be inspirational. Brave, to overcome it, with a good attitude. Like if I just think positively enough, my spine will magically repair itself." Marcus thought about the year after Sarah died. The people who'd told him time heals all wounds, that he'd find love again, that Sarah would want him to move on, like grief was something you could schedule, like loss had an expiration date. "You don't owe anyone inspiration," he said. "You're allowed to be angry." "Even if I'm angry all the time?" "Especially then." Adriana's eyes glistened. "My uncle uses it against me. The anger, the instability. He's been building a case for months, claiming I'm not fit to run the company, that the accident damaged more than just my legs." "But you are fit." "How do you know?" "Because you're here, because you're fighting, because you haven't given up." "Maybe I should give up. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm not strong enough for this." Marcus leaned forward. "You pulled yourself out of a hospital at 4 a.m. with no wheelchair, no phone, no plan. You're eating pancakes with a stranger and his kid instead of falling apart. You're already planning your next move." He held her gaze. "That's not weak. That's the strongest thing I've ever seen." A tear slid down Adriana's cheek. She wiped it away quickly. "I haven't cried in front of anyone since the accident," she said. "Not even my therapist." "Maybe you needed someone who wouldn't treat you like you're broken." "I am broken." "No, you're hurt. There's a difference." They sat in silence for a long moment. The TV played quietly in the background. Outside, the city hummed with Saturday night life. "Tell me about your wife," Adriana said finally. "The woman in the photo." Marcus looked at the picture on the wall. Sarah, smiling, frozen in happiness. "Sarah. We met in college, married at 23, had Lily 2 years later. She was a teacher, 4th grade, loved her kids more than anything except Lily." "What happened?" "Ovarian cancer, stage 4 by the time they found it. She fought for 18 months, died 3 weeks after Lily's 5th birthday." His voice was steady, but his hands weren't. "She made me promise I'd be okay, that I'd take care of Lily, that I wouldn't give up." "Have you kept that promise?" "I'm trying. Some days are easier than others." Adriana nodded. "My mother died of cancer too. Breast cancer. I watched her fade for 2 years. At the end, she made me promise something too." "What?" "That I'd be strong. That I wouldn't let anyone make me small." Adriana smiled sadly. "Then I got paralyzed, and everyone started treating me like I was fragile, like I was less." "You're not less." "My uncle thinks I am." "Your uncle's wrong." Adriana looked at him for a long moment. "You don't even know me." "I know enough." "Like what?" "I know you're brave. I know you're smart. I know you don't give up easily." Marcus paused. "And I know you make Lily laugh. That's not nothing." Something shifted in Adriana's expression. Softness, vulnerability, hope. "Thank you," she whispered, "for this, for all of it. Don't thank me yet. We still have to figure out how to keep you safe." "We?" "You're not doing this alone anymore." Adriana's breath hitched. "Marcus, you don't have to." "I know I don't have to. I want to." "Why?" Marcus thought about that, about the question underneath the question. Why risk his safety? Why involve himself in someone else's fight? Why care about a stranger? Because someone has to, he said finally. And because I can. It was the same answer he'd given himself last night when he ran into the fire. The same answer he gave himself every morning when he woke up to bills he couldn't pay and a future he couldn't control. Someone has to. And I can. Adriana wiped her eyes again. You're a good man, Marcus Webb. Just doing what's right. That's what makes you good. That night, Marcus gave Adriana his bed and took the couch. He lay there in the dark, listening to the apartment settle, thinking about the woman sleeping in his room. He'd saved her life. But something told him she was about to save his too, just in a different way. Sunday morning arrived with weak sunlight and the smell of coffee. Marcus woke to find Adriana already awake, sitting at the kitchen table with the loaner phone, scrolling through something intently. Morning, Marcus said, his voice rough with sleep. She looked up. I found something. My father's lawyer, Gerald Bloom, he's been trying to reach me, left 3 messages on the hospital's patient line. What did he say? That he has documents I need to see, files my father left specifically for me, but he won't send them electronically, says it's too risky. I have to come to his office in person. Where's the office? Downtown, about 40 minutes from here. Marcus thought about Vincent Castellanos, about resources and private investigators and people on payrolls. Your uncle will have people watching the building. Probably. So, we need a plan. Adriana smiled. We. They spent the morning strategizing. Marcus called an old friend from his building, Jerome, who drove for a medical transport company. Asked if he could borrow the van for a few hours Monday. Jerome agreed without asking questions. Marcus then called the medical supply store. Asked about wheelchair rentals. Could they deliver one by Monday morning? They could. For a fee Marcus couldn't really afford but would pay anyway. By noon, they had something resembling a plan. Not a good plan, but a plan. Lily spent the day orbiting Adriana like a satellite. She asked 1,000 questions. What's it like being rich? Do you have a mansion? How many cars? Do you have a pool? Adriana answered each one patiently. Yes, I have a large house. 3 cars, well, 2 now. Yes, there's a pool. No, it doesn't make me happy. Why not? Lily asked, genuinely confused. Because you can't swim in money, Adriana said, and a big house is just lonely when you're by yourself. Lily thought about that. Then, you're not by yourself now. Adriana's expression softened. No, I guess I'm not. That afternoon, Lily asked if she could braid Adriana's hair. Adriana hesitated. Her hair was a mess, unbrushed since the crash, but Lily was insistent. Marcus watched from the kitchen as his daughter carefully sectioned Adriana's dark hair, her small fingers working with surprising skill. He'd taught her that. Had spent hours learning himself so Lily would never feel like she was missing out on something just because she didn't have a mother. Your daddy taught you this? Adriana asked. Uh-huh. He learned from YouTube. He's really good now. He's good at a lot of things. He's the best daddy in the world. Adriana glanced at Marcus across the room. Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Recognition, connection, the beginning of something neither dared name. Yeah, Adriana said softly. I'm starting to see that. That evening, after Lily was asleep, Marcus and Adriana sat on the couch. The TV played some old movie neither of them watched. Can I ask you something? Adriana said. Sure. Why haven't you dated? Since your wife? Marcus was quiet for a moment. It didn't seem fair. To Lily, or to whoever I'd date. I'm barely keeping my head above water most days. What would I offer someone? Yourself. That seems like enough. Is it? It is to me. The words hung in the air between them. Marcus looked at her. Really looked. Saw the woman, not the heiress. Saw the strength, not the wheelchair. I saw someone who understood what it meant to survive when surviving felt impossible. You're not what I expected, he said. What did you expect? Someone who needed saving. Adriana smiled. And what am I instead? Someone who saves herself. You just needed a little help with the fire. More than a little. Okay, a lot of help with the fire. But the rest, you're doing that yourself. Adriana shifted closer. Not much, just enough that Marcus felt the warmth of her beside him. I like being here, she said quietly. In this apartment, with you and Lily. It feels real. My life hasn't felt real in a long time. What's it felt like? Like performance. Like I'm playing the role of Adriana Castellanos, heiress. But I don't know who that person is anymore. Maybe you're not supposed to be that person. Then who am I? Marcus looked at her. How about just Adriana? No titles, no expectations, just you. Tears slid down her cheeks. I don't remember how to be just me. Then figure it out, starting here, starting now. Adriana leaned her head on his shoulder. Marcus went still, barely breathing. It had been 3 years since anyone had touched him like this. With trust, with intimacy that wasn't about need, just connection. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For seeing me. Not my money, not my wheelchair. Just me. Marcus's hand moved almost of its own accord. He touched her hair gently where Lily had braided it. That's all I've been seeing since I pulled you out of that car. They sat like that for a long time. The movie played on. Outside, the city lived its life. But inside this small apartment, 2 broken people found something neither had expected. The beginning of healing. Monday morning, they went to the lawyer. Vincent's men were waiting. But so were 50 of Marcus's neighbors, Mr. Chen, Jerome, Mrs. Rodriguez, all standing guard. The lawyer gave Adriana the files. Proof Vincent had sabotaged both accidents. Tried to have her declared incompetent. In court, Marcus testified. The judge ruled in Adriana's favor. Vincent was arrested. 6 months later, Marcus stood in a new house, Adriana's gift, their home. She wore white. Lily held the rings. You saved me, Adriana whispered. We saved each other, Marcus said. They kissed, their family finally complete. Subscribe if you believe love heals everything.